Hi friends, I'm Jody. Welcome back to The Speeded Life. So today is our first video of our fall series, and I did post a picture in the Speeded Life's community. So if you happen to see it, there was 4 different palettes that I just fell in love with, and we are duplicating the one that you see in the thumbnail today. So I pulled some colors that I thought would be perfect. I don't know how many of these we're going to use, but let's go ahead and walk through them real quick, and we'll discuss why I picked them and what made me, what drew me to those colors. So I'll be right back. Okay, so the picture on the thumbnail is the one with all the really pretty colored rocks. I decided we're going to start there today. And these are the things that I picked. So, and these came from various places. Mostly it's just my stash, right? So I saw this one, and this is glass beads. So they're, not pricey beads. They're really, really cute. I think I got these at, on Whatnot at Broke Girl Beads. So they're probably like kind of a one-of-a-kind thing, but you don't have to have these. I just thought that these colors were pretty close to some of the colors that were in that palette. So I picked those. Not even sure if we're going to use them. I don't know yet. We'll see. I picked this thinking that it might be a really good focal. I got these at Joann's before they went out of business. I have this one and one more left, and I always really liked these. I thought these were beautiful ceramic beads, and I thought this would be a really good focal, just like on its side and the front, but I don't know if we're going to use that or not. Next I have these. Now these were some kind of gemstone, but I never labeled them, so I really don't know, but they do have blue and green in them. I think it's some kind of like Z agate, because there's like the striping and everything too in some of them. I don't really know though. If one of you guys know, let me know. But there are some of the deeper blue that's way in the bottom there, and some of the dark green. So I thought that would be really pretty. I picked up some copper fire polish. I got these really pretty peach seed beads. These came from Danielle Wicks. These came from Sam's. The stuff that's on the plate here, so these are little faceted gemstones. I think they're aventurine, but I thought they kind of matched that really light green that's all the way up in the corner on the top. The rest of these beads were from the Jody collection from Danielle Wicks. I'm still working on that. I still have a lot of beads left, you guys. I don't know about you all who ordered it, but I still have quite a few. There's some of that teal, there's some of that light blue. I got some copper colored flowers, some light blue flowers. We're just kind of going to go with it. Now, a lot of people might look at this palette and say, well, that doesn't look like fall at all. Well, you know what? In my mind, there's places in this world that looks like this at fall. So that's what I'm going with. Why is it stuck? So this is our first fall color palette. And you know what? There are many things that look like this in the fall. You have, your sky colors, you have your greens, like your evergreens, and other like plant leaves that don't change. You have colors of like mums that are bright and vivid. This one would probably be like, some of the leaves and stuff. But yeah, I just think that this would be a really beautiful palette, and we're just going to kind of go with it. So I do have a piece of bead stringing wire here. This is the Soft Flex medium, and I think this was, I can't remember what color that was. Let me see if I have the little reel here close by. No, it doesn't say, because I think I bought it. It was like a on clearance or something, because it was one of their colors. It didn't quite match like what they normally have, which I don't really care about that. It's close enough for me. This is 24 inches in length, and we're going to make a necklace. So what we're going to do is we're going to showcase the larger beads like throughout. Not even sure, like I said, how many of these items I will use. We're just going to kind of go with it. These are just the colors that I thought would look really, really pretty together and kind of match that photo. And I'm sure a lot of you have these same colors like in your stash. So find some colors that match it, and let's just design together. And what I really love is I love all the necklaces that have like a bunch of little tiny beads and then a larger bead and tiny beads and a larger bead. I love all that. So we're probably going to do something similar to that. And I really do think I want to use that ceramic bead as my focal. We're just bringing in all kinds of fantastic colors here. All right. So first thing we're going to do is let's put on our focal, because we know that we're going to have that in the center of our necklace. That is our, let me pull you out just a little bit. That is our point of focus, right? Our focal. But you know me, I like to say the whole necklace should be a focal, I think. So I'm going to put my glasses on so I can see. That's better. And then we're going to go ahead and start beading. So the first thing I want to do next to this really handsome looking bead is put a couple smaller ones, just because I know that it will need it because of the giant holes here. So we're going to put these teal ones on right next to it. And we're just going to kind of bead on the fly here, guys. We're going to see what works and what doesn't. And we're just going to make this palette beautiful. And then let's grab some of these really pretty peach little 11-0 beads. And I think we're going to do about 5 in between our larger beads. Okay, so we're going to do that. And then now we just need to decide, how do we want this to look? Like, do we want to do like maybe a small bead like this? And then maybe a little bit bigger of a bead. Maybe I don't want to do 5. Let's maybe do like 3, because I think 5 might be too much for me. And then I'm kind of wondering, like, I don't know if I really like those teal beads next to that. So, you know, this is, like I said, it's a design on the fly. We're going to kind of wing this, you guys. We're going to wing it. I might just put the little seed beads right next to it, because they'll probably go into it, which would be fine, because in our ceramic piece, it's heavy. It would be sitting on some of these beads. So let's maybe do that. So what this inspired like season is about, this is something I want to do for all the rest of the seasons, because I really think that you know, nature is beautiful. Mother Nature is the best artist. She's really good. You know, between Mother Nature and our good Lord, he really gave us a beautiful canvas to look at every day. And I think that no matter who you are and where you live, we can all appreciate that, you know, very much. And it helps us also too, you know, kind of maybe helps us look on the bright side of things, to, you know, really kind of just see what we have going on in this world. I don't know. Looking outside, no matter what the weather is doing, it makes me happy. I love a good rain, like a nice hard rain, especially if it like has a nice cool breeze to it. I love that feeling. That is like the best feeling. And then like the smell of the rain is just amazing to me. I love that smell. All right, so now that we're here, now we got to make another decision. So I'm going to bring in some of these colors. And what I'm going to do is we're going to bring in this light blue. And then I think maybe we should just jump in with one of these dark ones. So maybe like the contrast would look really, really good. And you know what? I do like that. And then if we did another light blue behind it, and then our 3 seed beads, and then we can just go on from there. So this is going to be kind of, I think it's going to look kind of planetary in a way. All right, so let's grab one of these teal ones, and then let's do a light faceted green. and then another 2, and then 3 more seed beads. Very nice. And then I think we could just do one of these like really pretty fire polish, and then 3 more seed beads. And like I said, I don't know if I really want to use the flowers. I'm kind of shying away from the flowers just for the simple fact that I think that this has enough going on with it that we don't need those. We'll save those flowers for another day. I'm wondering what these little stripy beads look like though, because I think they might add some interest. So let's just pop one of those on here. Oh, that actually looks really, really cute. I like that. We're gonna go with it. That's gonna be part of our design. So now that we have an idea of what we want to do, we're just gonna repeat this pattern. This is going to be our pattern. So I'm gonna use that largest bead right there, and then I'm gonna go down in size. I'm only using little spacers by the larger beads and keeping these by themselves. I think it'll just add a little bit of dimension and a little bit of interest. So that's why I'm choosing to do that. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to repeat the same thing over. So we're going to grab our little light blue bead here, grab our big dark bead, and then another light blue bead, and then 3 of these. So just remember, whenever you guys see one of those thumbnails of one of the fall inspired palettes that I had chosen, that's going to be one of the videos. And then I'll even title it Fall Inspired so that you can be sure you're getting the one that you're wanting to see. And yeah, I think this should be really fun. And if you guys end up liking this series, let me know, because I will continue to do series like this throughout all the seasons. And I just think it really helps me go through my stash and use some of the things that I've just been sitting on and hanging on to. And it helps me, and I think it'll help you guys too, to grab some beads in your stash that are, you know, maybe you just have a few extras from a strand that you are wanting to use. Maybe this would be a good time to grab some bead soup. Just all kinds of different things that you could do. Maybe you'll finally use some of the beads that you like. I thought I would like this color, but I don't know about it. And then when you see this that color that you're not really quite sure what to do with on a palette, now you'll have something to do with it. All right, I hope you guys don't mind my fan going. It's I'm making fall jewelry and it's like 95 degrees. It's really, really warm. So I have my fan on. Yeah, it's kind of warmish up in here. Next year, I won't have to worry about this because we are getting our central air done next year for sure. There's not going to be, we cannot go another summer like this. And now watch, we're going to do that, and next summer we won't need it, which will be fine because then we'll just save money then. It's all good. All right. So again, these were all beads that were just kind of like I had a lot of, or I didn't have enough of. Like this is all I have. And I think these might have come in an older like Sam's bead box that before I started doing the bead soup thing with my bead boxes, I was just dumping it into my stash when I was done with it. And so I never really labeled it. I think the light green aventurine looking ones maybe came from Michael's, because I used to, before I got into like the online community, I did a lot of my shopping at like Michael's and Hobby Lobby, which is great. There's nothing wrong with those places. But now I just feel like it's so much more convenient and I can find more options for me online. But I still go to those places and buy beads, trust me. I still do, because sometimes I just want to go browse and then I find some really fantastic things. All right, so we're just going to continue our pattern. And we're just going to keep you here for the whole stringing, because this is all this video is going to be. It's just this necklace. And we will just talk and chit chat, but I think this is going to be beautiful. And I hope you guys really like this. And I'm serious, I really do need you guys to let me know in the comments if this is something that you love, or if this is something that maybe you weren't so much of a fan of. I really would like to know, because I will continue this throughout my bead journey with you guys. There we go. And we are moving right along. After this video, then I'm gonna jump in the shower and I'm gonna get some rest. I got to get up in the morning and do blood work before my doctor appointment on Monday, and then my husband and I are taking my brother and my niece and nephew to the airport. They have to go home now, and I'm really, 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 really sad about it. I wish they could just stay forever. And my brother tried. He tried to get custody, like full custody of them, and he hired a lawyer and everything. And the state of Florida just doesn't want to separate children and their moms, and I understand that. But the kids really wanted to be up here with their dad, and it's kind of upsetting. And I've been right along with my brother, I've been bearing the pain with him for well over a year, because we love them. I love my niece and nephew. They're just the sweetest kids, and it's so hard because you get to know them, in person for just a short time, and then they go back home again, and then you kind of feel like you have to start all over. They're very shy, so it makes it hard for them, and I feel bad. All right, so this is gonna be stunning. You guys, I am super excited about this. When I was picking out the palettes, I was like, gosh, I love all those colors, but will I love them together? Do I have the right beads for this? Can I do this? And I think I got pretty close to the colors in there. And if anything, I think I picked the ones that were near the colors. May not have been exactly the same colors, but it was still inspired by. And yeah, I'm in love with these colors. Oh, I keep forgetting to do little spacers with the big ones. I'm kind of excited to see what winter would bring, what I can do for winter palettes. I think I have some really good ideas. And I love color so much. I love beads. I know we all do, don't we? We all love them so, so much. And I feel like doing these little exercises kind of helps you. It helps me break out of a color rut, because I feel like once summer gets started, I do a lot of stuff with turquoise and all the same color. And not that there's anything wrong with those colors, they're glorious, but I get stuck in a color rut because I feel like that's all I'm buying are those summer colors. There's so much white and so much, and I'm like, no, I need to get back into my putting colors together that, that's my thing. I love color, and I've learned a lot about color over the time of making jewelry, because I really only stuck to colors that I really, really loved. And if you notice, in a couple of those, there's a little bit of purple. There's a touch of purple in, I think, two of those photos. So it'll be interesting, being a person that does not have a lot of purple in her collection, because she is always purple shy, what I will do with it. But I'm starting to put a little bit of purple in my collection now. So I'm starting to grab pieces that I really enjoy, so that I'll be wanting to use it so much more. And again, does not even matter where your beads came from. All it matters is that you picked out the colors that you thought would look best and you put them together. And it doesn't matter the material either. You could use all acrylic beads. I don't care. I like acrylic beads, to be honest with you. They're light and you can put them with a lot of things, you know, especially when the acrylic beads are really pretty, or if they're vintage acrylic beads, because those have a tendency to have like a lot of personality, which I really, really love. All right, we are getting somewhere, you guys. Let me just chase these around a little bit here. Because I know that some people really enjoy it when I chase these little beads around. That was me being sarcastic. There's some people who don't really like it. All right, so this is what we have. Oh, I love this. This is gonna be beautiful. I'm so excited. All right, so now let's start back over again. I need my light blue. I need this nice, big, beautiful, dark green and blue. I also thought about doing like famous painting inspiration, because that's fun too. Just to see what people pull out of the colors is like, it's amazing, because everybody can pull something different out of a painting. And I think that is so stinking cool. It just depends on where your eye gravitates to. Everybody's eyes go to something different in a painting. And I think that's what makes it so special, is how people first interact with it. I think it's so cool. I almost like to go to the museum just with somebody, just to see what they look like when they're looking at a painting. I just think it's really, really, really neat. All right, I think we have room for maybe one more of each of our things here. So let's do 3 more seed beads, our fire polish, 3 more, and our stripey bead. And I'm just grabbing those stripey beads at random. And I'm not gonna put the seed beads at the top. We're just gonna leave just the stripey one up there. All right, and then our fire polish, our 3 seed beads, and our cute little stripey guy. There we go, and we have enough for us to crimp the ends and put a clasp on. All right, guys, I'm gonna find a clasp and that kind of stuff, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I am back. So let's go ahead and put on our ends. Got my little mess cleaned up. I'm gonna use my number 2 crimp tube. I'm using Soft Flex crimp tubes, and I'm gonna put it right over top of right into my clasp. So we're not going to use a jump ring, in between. I almost said jump rope. That would have been weird. We're not going to use a jump rope in between. I always have a problem with, you know what? I'm not using medium. I'm using heavy. I forgot. I think I have larger crimps, but they're silver. I wonder if I can still get that in there. I've gotten them in there before. It's just a little bit harder because it's thicker wire. We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna make it happen. Let me grab, I have some bigger crimps. They're more like, oh, I don't know what brand they are. I think they might be B. Smith. Hold on one second. I don't know, but they're antique bronze, but that's okay. We're gonna use antique bronze. It's gonna be fine. All right, so put that on there. And these they're still number 2, but they don't have as thick of an inner wall like the Soft Flex ones do. The Soft Flex ones work perfect on the medium, but the heavy, it doesn't seem to work as well. And I forgot that I chose heavy, and I don't know why. I think maybe because of the color. or maybe because of the way I want it to hang. I have no idea, but I chose it. So I'm just gonna use my regular crimpers because I know these work, it works well for these thinner walled ones. And it did, it worked really well. So that's a nice crimp. And I don't think those will both fit in there, so they don't. Let's trim that off. Trim off our little tail as close to that crimp as we can get it. There we go. And then we can just slide that on down. And then we can pick up our other crimp, put that on with our jump ring, and I made sure it was closed so we don't have any issues. And then we'll just put our tail through that crimp. We're gonna try really, really hard not to cross these wires. Sometimes it happens, it just doesn't, I mean, it doesn't cause any real issues. It kind of could wear down your wire if you do cross them. It works better if they both sit in their own little channel when you're crimping it. But it, you know, you can only do so much. A person can only do so much. And all I'm doing now is I'm just making sure my loops are pretty close to the same size as the other one. And it looks pretty close, so we're gonna go with it. All right, you see what I mean by it sits in their own channel? See these little bumps here on both sides? It's sitting, each strand is sitting in its own little like tunnel. And then we just crimp our little macaroni noodle closed, and we have a really nice crimp, nice clean crimp. A crimp that turned out so nice that I don't think it needs a crimp cover. All right, so here is our beautiful fall necklace. Our first one, our first fall inspired necklace. What do you guys think? You like it? All right, I'm gonna try it on for you to see what you think when it's on. Okay friends, here it is. What do you think? Do you like it? I love it. I think it's very pretty, and I love the way it's like sitting and hanging. I just think it looks stunning. You can see all the different colors that I used, and I think it turned out really nice. I hope you guys like it. Again, please let me know if you enjoyed this and you think this is going to be a fun series. Let me know what you think, and I don't know, maybe after all 4 are done, maybe you can go back to the one that you love the most and put on the one that you love the most, that's your favorite. So anyway, I will see you guys again real soon, and I hope you have a fabulous night, and I'm sending you all my love as always, guys. Bye.